Hello, my name is Katie Mitchell, and in the next few minutes I would like to share with you an instructional procedure known as semantic feature analysis. Whether or not you are familiar with this idea, let's begin with the definition. Semantic feature analysis is a tool teachers use to help students examine the characteristics of vocabulary words or content area concepts. To utilize this tool in the classroom, teachers will draw and grid with vocabulary words or content area concepts listed on the vertical axis and the characteristics or components of the words listed on the horizontal axis. For example, students may complete a semantic feature analysis when studying a novel. They may list vocabulary words on one axis and the characters' names on the other. They can then decide which words relate to each other and use plus signs and minus signs to signify the relationship between the vocabulary words and the characters on the grid. Generally, teachers complete a semantic feature analysis with the whole class, but students can work in small groups or individually to complete a grid. However, the examination of the grid should be done as a whole class activity, so students can share their thoughts and ideas and learn from each other. There are 3 steps for semantic feature analysis. Step 1. Create the grid. As already mentioned, teachers create a grid with vocabulary words or concepts listed on the vertical axis and the characteristics or components on the horizontal axis. Step 2. Complete the grid. Students complete the grid cell by cell, considering the relationship between each item on the vertical and horizontal axis. They mark each cell with a plus sign to indicate a relationship, a minus sign for no relationship, or a question mark if they are unsure. Step 3. Examine the grid. The teacher and students examine the grid for patterns and draw conclusions based on the patterns observed. Using semantic feature analysis in the classroom is beneficial because it is versatile and is able to be used for a variety of subjects and grade levels. An example of this can be seen through this science semantic feature analysis. In this grid, various kinds of insects are on the vertical axis, and characteristics of the insects are on the horizontal axis. If a student was reading this grid, they could specifically conclude that a wasp has 6 legs, 3 body parts, they do have wings, they do lay eggs, they do not bite, but they do sting. The student could conclude additional information for the various other insects listed on the grid as well. Semantic feature analysis can be used before, during, or after reading. In the example with the insects, teachers could use the grid to assess student knowledge before teaching, monitor student learning during teaching, and evaluate student comprehension after teaching. Likewise, semantic feature analysis can be adapted for math, English, social studies, language arts, or various other subjects. Semantic feature analysis is especially helpful for students who are struggling with reading. Using the grid with vocabulary words or content area concepts listed on the vertical axis and characteristics or components of the words listed on the horizontal axis, the material students need to learn is visually presented or demonstrated for the benefit of the student. More so, struggling readers are able to use the grid to consider the relationships between vocabulary words and concepts and mark them using plus signs or minus signs. This practice encourages students' reading, comprehension, and engagement in reading. Semantic feature analysis can be used in the same way with English language learners. As ELs learn the language, it is essential for them to understand the relationship between words and concepts. Semantic feature analysis is an excellent strategy for teachers and tutors to utilize and demonstrate ideas and word correlations. Semantic feature analysis can also be used to evaluate student understanding and specifically target further areas students are struggling with. Let's review. Semantic feature analysis is a tool teachers use to help students examine characteristics of vocabulary words or content area concepts. To utilize this tool in the classroom, teachers will create a grid with vocabulary words or content area concepts. Students complete the grid cell by cell, considering the relationship between each item on the vertical and horizontal axis. They mark each cell with a plus sign to indicate a relationship, a minus sign for no relationship, or a question mark if they are unsure. Using semantic feature analysis in the classroom is beneficial because it is versatile and is able to be used for a variety of subjects and grade levels. It is also helpful in assisting struggling readers and English language learners. I hope this presentation was beneficial and enabled you to learn about semantic feature analysis. I hope you are able to use this in your classroom and further your student learning. Thank you.